This event, of course, brought to you by our friends at the American Pool Players Association. I'm your host, Jason Bowman, and I'm joined by the one and only Black Widow, Jeanette Lee. Jeanette, I know you've been here at the Renaissance all week.
Yes.
Lots and lots of excited kids. What's this event been like from your perspective?
It's exciting. The players are getting better every year, but really the overwhelming thing that everyone's gotten experience is the sportsmanship. I think it's such a positive environment. These kids are super, super polite and they are thankful to be here as we are. And we've had, our referees, our tournament directors, everything has gone really smoothly, but I love to see these kids play. They love it.
Yeah. So we started off with 505 kids, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. That broke down to 227 in our green tier, which is your skill levels 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We had 139 kids in the red tier, our skill level 3s. We had 99 kids in the white tier, skill level 4 and 5. And in the black tier, our best players, skill levels 6 through 9, 40 kids from all across the United States. We got kids from California, Florida, Texas, New York, Connecticut, really
Yep.
all over the country. We got 2 Canadian provinces represented, so it's been an outstanding event. We are down to the final round.
Yes.
And Jeanette, we are going to be focusing this afternoon on the black tier,
Yes.
which is going to feature, again, the skill levels 6 through 9. So let's go ahead and meet the players in the black tier. I know they are anxious to begin down there lagging. Okay, so it looks like we have breaking here Cody Allen, and we're going to talk a little bit about Cody. He's from Tampa and one that's very familiar to you personally, Jeanette. And then his opponent is Beck Matthews out of Louisville, Kentucky. So, again, Cody Allen, Beck Matthews, Cody from Tampa had the break there, pocketed the 9-ball, looks
Not
like.
on the snap.
And Beck Matthews. So Cody out to an early lead. Jeanette, full transparency. Let's get it out there. Cody Allen is very familiar to you personally. I know you're a little nervous during this match. Tell us about Cody and kind of your relationship there.
Well, he was the son of, or he still is the son of Gene Allen, who owned a pool room there nearby, and he's only been playing 3 years.
Wow.
And he just saw these guys play, and he was so proud that his dad owned the pool room, and he started playing. And within a year, he was very, very solid. And so now it's just a matter of refining his pre-shot routine, showing a little bit more discipline, and he absolutely loves the game. Where he got to spend some time with Mark Wilson just about a month ago, and he said that it was awesome and inspiring. So he plans to go to Lindenwood University for their billiards program, but
Wow.
I do think that it really changed him in a lot of ways, as in terms of as a teenager who really wasn't sure what he wanted to do in life. Being able to focus on something like pool, and it really helped the parents a lot, because they were like, well, if you want to play pool, you have to bring your grades up, you have to do this and that, and he's done that. So it's been an awesome thing to see, and he lives nearby. I'm actually now dating his
There it is.
father,
There it is.
but he was
Okay.
already somewhat of a student
Sure.
to begin with, and so I've been able to work with him a lot. But
Cool.
I give him a lot of credit for the hard work he's put in.
So that is Cody, little insight from Jeanette there. And this is Beck Matthews, Beck out of the pool hotbed of Louisville, Kentucky, of course, the home of the
Great
Derby City
players
Classic.
there.
And a lot of great players come out of there. Beck is actually a skill level 7, which means he's going to need 55 points. Cody is at the top of the absolute top of the skill
Right.
level chart. He's a skill level 9, so he's going to need 75 points to Beck's 55. So about a 20-point differential, and of course, each ball pocketed worth 1 point here. The 9-ball being pocketed is worth 2 points, as we saw in that first rack when
Right.
Cody pocketed the 9 on the snap. The remaining balls are marked as dead balls in that case. So
That's right. I'll tell you, he started off, Cody unfortunately scratched in the side, his first unforced error, let's say. But I'm going to tell you, Beck looks very confident at the table. Just the way that he's walking, his bridge is strong. He just is displaying a lot of confidence, good ball speed. I like that he's getting up and walking over and looking at the exact shot.
pockets that last 2 points with the 9-ball in the corner there, and he will have the break. Steve, while we got a moment, do we have I want to make sure we acknowledge some of our sponsors. Of course, the folks, our friends at Nationwide Insurance, our feature sponsor this year's Junior Championships. We also want to mention Valley Dynamo, of course, the official table of the APA. our friends at pooldog.com, Action Cues, and Aramith Billiard Balls, all sponsors of this year's APA Junior Championships, 500 players. Of course, we're here at the Renaissance in St. Louis. I'm guessing they've had a busy week, Jeanette, keeping up with all these kids running around.
And they've been very patient with us because I'll tell you, it's not just about the tournament play, the camaraderie. I mean, we've got those practice tables in the back, and the kids are playing the whole night, making friends, meeting people that share their love of the game. I mean, they're at the swimming pool. They've got some great food here, so it's been a great experience. And every year, I own Tampa Bay APA Leagues over there in Tampa, and we've got every single year we've got more kids playing in the division, but even more wanting to come and make it to the national championship because they hear about what the experience is like here.
Yep, I'm guessing lots of different relationships made this week for some of these kids. Again, we had 34 different states represented, 2 Canadian provinces, so kind of a unique opportunity for these kids to get out of their hometown and come to a place like this and play against players from all over the country, all over North America, if you will. Again, this is Beck Matthews at the table. Beck now with a early lead on Cody Allen.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this right here was his first unforced error. He had a nice shot to draw his cue ball all the way back to the rail and out where he would be almost straight in on the 3. Hit it a little bit softer than he needed to, so now he's going to have to draw over to the side rail and back. Oh, he tried to hold it. Okay, still very makeable. I think he didn't want to come over as much, showing some discipline coming all the way over and getting exactly where he wants to hit on that 4 ball. You can see how tough this cut is. Nice and thin. Unfortunately, with right English, he's going to hit right in the back of that 8 ball.
Of course, this match here, we're getting some questions, is the black tier of the junior championships. If you were looking for the green tier, red tier, or white tier, you can hop over to poolplayers.com/live, and you'll catch those matches there. We are broadcasting 4 final matches all at the same time. So Jeanette and I are here on Facebook and on our YouTube channel following the black tier. But if you're looking for some other matches, you can hop over again, poolplayers.com/live, or our YouTube channel, youtube.com/APA Leagues. As Beck Matthews finishes off that rack with another 2 points. Looking at a strong start for Mr. Matthews.
Yes. Break and run. And if you guys are enjoying this, please, please share this because we would love to get more and more people out here supporting our juniors program and their love of the game.
Of course, this event has quickly become the largest of all the there's some other junior pool tournaments out there that kids can go to, the BEF being one. And this has quickly become the largest. I was just talking to Dr. Q, Tom Rossman, the other day in Vegas, and he's real involved in the BEF. He said, well, you guys now have the biggest junior event. So that's a great sign of folks, that play in our leagues getting their kids interested in pool, having an outlet for them to play. So,
and I think that everyone has a lot of confidence. Sometimes you have new promoters putting on events, but everyone's got a lot of confidence that this would be a successful one because the APA is already running the largest pool tournament in the world, anyway, so for their adult program. So they can easily handle such a large event with our juniors.
Back with the 1 in the corner there. Pockets the 2. Curious if any of our viewers are familiar with Beck. Of course, we mentioned he's from Louisville, home of the Derby City Classic. So, guessing there's some folks down there that are tuning in that are familiar with him and rooting him on. Nice to see several people have stuck around for this final round. I would say 150 or so people here still at the Renaissance, taking it all in. Jeanette, have you guys had the opportunity to get out of the hotel at all? Do anything in St. Louis while you've been here? It's been all pool.
You know, I love coming here, and it is. I do love coming here, and this is kind of our where APA began, right? Right here in St. Louis, New York,
Yes.
St. Louis, Missouri, and so I love visiting you guys. And I know a lot of the kids have gone to see the arch, but I've been here quite a few times.
You got a lot of kids here,
and
so.
and I have 15 kids here, so I literally, I mean, and it means so much to them to have
Right.
their league operator, their friend, watching the matches. So I was literally like
Back
run
and forth,
There's,
back and
There
forth.
was never a round where one of my kids was not
Sure.
playing, and we'd still have to walk from table to table. So no, I never got out of here for anything.
No sightseeing for you, but I know a lot of the kids, it sounded like this week, had the opportunity to maybe stop by the St. Louis Zoo or City Museum, some of the great attractions here in the St. Louis area. Like you mentioned, this is actually the home, the original home of what is today the World Pool Championships in Las Vegas, the world's largest tournament. Started here in St. Louis. Of course, this is where our corporate headquarters are. Yeah, we're starting it here. But literally here at the Renaissance is the crazy part. I mean, this specific hotel is where.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, at one time, this was the home of the APA National Team Championships, our first home. Yep. Before we moved to Vegas many, many years ago. Little factoid for you. Beck runs him out there.
Again.
Opens up a.
Cody hasn't shot since the first rack.
Again, we talked about the fact this is the black tier, so you're seeing these higher skill players very capable of going and breaking and running, maybe running a couple racks. So I think there's still a ways to go here, and I think we're going to see more of Cody, but just has to get his opportunity at the table.
Exactly. Yeah, he's very capable. He's used to playing on 9-foot tables. So getting on these 3.5 by 7s. Now, a lot of people think it's so much easier to play on 7-foot tables versus our standard 9-foot tables.
Not as much room to work with, though.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's easier to pocket the ball because the distance doesn't look so tough. However, the side pockets tend to be a little bit smaller, and also just everything's constantly clustered up. So you have to do a lot more maneuvering. It's a lot tougher and you've got to be able to play defense as well, and it's tough to do.
Beck with another ball on the break, so he will remain at the table.
I'm not seeing him pocketing this ball. I think he's going to play some defense. Now, it depends on how thin he can hit this ball. Well, it depends on if he's going to play safe or not. Nope, it looks like he's just going to try to get that cue ball behind the 2. All right, this is the opportunity that Cody's been waiting on. Let's see what he does with it. We know what Beck did. It's got a nice natural angle on the 2. Perfect on the 1. That was good. Okay, he's just got to hold this ball right there. Perfect. He's rushing a little bit. I'd like to see him stop, and there you go. Now he's walking
Slow himself down, yep.
Yep, just make sure that he's on the correct side of this 6 ball.
Cody's already had some accomplishments on the kind of the junior level, right, for pool and some different events and things.
Yeah, he's won quite a few like state championships. He's been playing 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball. But we've got quite a few good solid juniors in Florida already.
I just got to imagine that experience of actually winning a tournament has to be so huge for somebody, a young person to be able to get that under your belt. Now you kind of know what that pressure is like.
Yeah, the more you can play in competition, but I think the biggest thing for them to overcome when they're kind of right at his level is not so much beating players that are better than them, because just starting off as a kid, you feel like you're the underdog anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you're always coming from behind. It's learning to always beat the kids you're supposed to beat.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people lose to players that are just a little bit underneath them because they don't give them the same respect as they do when they're playing a better
Sure.
player.
Sure.
So they end up losing matches they should never lose. And my recommendation when I'm playing somebody that I think I can, if I play this person even, I should, in a race to 7, they shouldn't get to 4. So then I start off the match thinking, okay, don't let her get to 4. And that way I shoot really hard right from the first game every time. And that just by itself really changed my consistency instead of in terms of making sure that I beat the players I'm supposed to beat.
So I want to mention we have our first match that has concluded here in the final round. Very quickly, that was in the, I want to make sure we get this all right, I believe the red. Yeah, the red tier. Zachary Hemmendinger out of New York has defeated Ava Lucas of Syracuse, New York. That was again the red tier. So great event for both of those juniors out of New York. I'm going to make sure I mention Ava too, because Ava was the only female to make it to the final round, one of 8 in the final round. So congratulations to Ava.
Yes, great
I'll admit I was kind of rooting her on, and see her over there getting a hug from Mom. And the hard part about this event is when you don't come out on top, and it's hard. Right. But I think as she looks back, she'll realize what a great tournament she had, and she can certainly be very proud of that. Meanwhile, Cody Allen here on our main table, trying to mount a comeback. His match against Beck Matthews at Louisville.
Nope, too much. Yeah, so right now these guys are so good already that the difference is on whether or not they can keep their cue ball on the right side of the ball, meaning right now he's just kind of rushing to get to his next shot.
Mm-hmm.
He's not picking an exact spot for where you want your cue ball to be, and I think that makes the racks much easier to run. They're both able to run them.
Right.
It just weigh on you mentally to constantly be on the wrong side of the ball and having to, whip your cue ball all over the place instead of playing natural shape. Excuse me. There's a good look at our EPA Pool League's lights. I love them. Bunch of people watching here in the crowd.
Yeah, as we mentioned, a lot of folks hung around for the final round here. Nice setup here at the Renaissance. Kind of a unique room because it curves almost, so you can kind of see streaming area here. This event will return to St. Louis next year. Kind of midsummer time frame. I'm not sure on the exact dates, but Beck finishes the rack. Cody takes a look. Look at these guys. Look like they've been doing it for years, checking that rack.
They honestly,
like the pros.
They both look very comfortable, very hungry to win. Cody's tightened up the score between him. Beck had a pretty good lead on him now. He's got an opportunity. Ooh, but I don't think he can see the one. I think that 6 ball's in the way.
See how quickly Cody mounted that comeback. He was down, I think, 30-5 or in that range. Now he's at 23 points. So things can turn very quickly with these players of this caliber.
Tell you the truth, I mean, it's tough to push out anywhere here. I might have to kick at this ball. Go one rail and try to hit the top half of the ball. He could end up making the one. What I was going to say is if he hits it hard enough, he could actually carry him off the one and back cut the 9 ball, which would have been awesome.
Trying to go back through some of the comments that we try to keep up with as we can, but in terms of age, the age range here at the juniors goes from the age of 7 all the way up to 18, so pretty pretty substantial
Yeah,
age
big
range when you think
difference.
about kids at 7 and 17 or 18 and how different things might be. But
But they're playing younger and younger every
yeah,
year.
and
I
we
mean,
like that. That's great. Great news. Of course, we mentioned this event being held at the Renaissance in St. Louis, Missouri,
mhm.
just across from the Lambert International Airport. The ballroom here.
He could have easily cut that one ball in. The reason why he chose to play safe is because there really was no guarantee because the 2 was under the 6 that he was going to be able to play shape for the next ball, and then the safety would have been even tougher then. So I think he was thinking, okay, tie up the 1 onto the 2 and maybe get lucky and carom that 9 ball in. Well, it would be luck. It would have been skill, but all right. Right now, if he could hit it very softly, he could make the right side of the 1. Ooh.
Oh,
I think at that pocket speed, what he was trying to do is hit the 1 thin, and it would have caromed off the 2 and hidden back behind the 6.
yeah, you can see he failed to contact the 1 ball, so he gives ball in hand to Beck.
Yeah, and that was a big error right there because he had that opportunity to play a really good safety there.
I'm guessing you and Cody have squared off a few times.
We have. We
Yeah.
do practice together. I always have problems with my back, so I can't play for as long as I used to play,
Yeah.
although I did recently have back surgery, neck surgery, and I'm on the mend, and I'm thinking I'll be able to play a lot more than I
Yeah.
used to play, which will be
Can't
exciting.
hurt to have the Black Widow as a sparring partner on the pool
That's
table.
true. That's true.
For
We've got a lot
for
of
a
good
young
players.
for a young player, that's a pretty good warm up there.
We actually had Cody and a group of our juniors play on a Masters team. Now they can't compete,
Right.
but just for regularly play for a little extra practice, and I think that's been really good for them.
Again, the other matches here in the Junior Championships finals you can find on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/APA Leagues. I know someone was asking about Ava Lucas in particular, and I won't give it away if you haven't seen the outcome, but that's where you can find the match. But we were big fans of Ava, the only young lady to make it to the final round, so good for her. She was super cute, too. She walked in, and her mom was like, "Do you want this cue?" And she's like, "I guess." I was like, "Oh, all right." She did not seem the least bit nervous.
Tell you, Beck played an advanced safety there. I mean, it seemed like to make a lot of sense what he did. However, he could have just stopped the ball and banked the 1 to the other side, but he actually, with confidence, let his cue ball roll forward and stick it right between the 2 and the 6, leaving him only a 3-railer to make it. I actually don't think that 3-railer is there, because I think he would have to hit that rail, the bottom rail, and he'd actually have to hit where the 9 ball was to. We'll see.
Oh. Cue ball flies off the table. That'll
And
get
that's the
ball in
risk.
hand to Beck.
Yeah, I think the speed that he hit it, it had a little bit of top spin on it, and it climbed up off the rail and jumped the table. If your cue ball is near the rail and you're hitting it top, you have to hit it soft enough so it stays on the table. If you hit it too hard, it kind of climbs up off the table. Jumps in the air.
Some of the folks at home might be watching and wondering, how do I get my kid involved in this? How does my kid make it to the APA Junior Championships? And if you go to our website, poolplayers.com/play-juniors, there's a little form you can fill out. Tell us who you are. Tell us how to get in touch with you, and we'll forward that information on to our league operator, and they can get in touch with you about getting your son or daughter involved in our leagues, which have been growing in popularity over the last couple of years, I think thanks in large part to this event.
Absolutely.
And all the great folks that play in our leagues that want to get their kids involved, you know.
Golly, that was big. I kind of feel like he originally was going to draw it and then changed his mind at the last minute and then decided he's just going to slow road it in, and that might be why he lost some accuracy there. I think he should have drawn the ball 2 rails on the other side of the 6 and back out. Not sure if that bank is there. It's hard for me to tell. Oh, he chose to play safe.
Watch out.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work here. That shot looks tougher than it is, and on a 9-foot table, it would be for someone his Beck's caliber. He's going to be able to cut this in without a problem. It's just a matter of controlling his cue ball. Might hit the 4. Okay, he grazed the 4, so it actually still worked out in his favor. He's almost straight in, so he could just draw the ball a little bit. I've noticed he hasn't drawn the ball as much as I think he'd like to. I'm not sure why. He's a little hesitant, but there you go. I feel like normally somebody would have drawn the ball maybe a few inches, but I'm not sure. So at this point, he should be thinking about what he wants to do with the 7. Bring the cue ball back out kind of to the middle of the table again. He doesn't want to end up straight because, see, when you're straight, you can only go forward or backward, both of which is not where he wants to be on this 7 ball. I think he would have liked to get the cue ball over to the middle of the table, cut the 6 ball, bring the cue ball onto the other side of that 7. Now he's looking at a bank shot or a combination shot.
Another of our championship matches has been decided here. Got Giovanni Gambone.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds Italian.
Yep.
Sounds tough.
Gambone.
Giovanni is your champion in the green tier of this year's junior championships. He defeats Robert Randall. Giovanni out of New Jersey. Robert out of Red Bud, Illinois. So again, making to the final day of competition, the final round, and Giovanni Gambone, New Jersey, is your champion in the green tier. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations, Giovanni.
Gambone.
Gambone.
All right, I got to get that right. I don't want to mess with the folks back in New Jersey. I don't want to get in a bad way with those folks.
Beck missed a somewhat easy bank shot, I think, that he should have made up. And Cody's showing off with a combination 2 and 1.
Wow.
All righty.
Big 3 points there at the end.
Listen, Beck's been playing very well.
Strong.
So now he's just gotta make sure that, I think a lot of people don't prepare themselves mentally before a match that you're going to make mistakes. Just let it roll off, stay in the present. What are we going to do about it now? I feel like they go into the match thinking about how they play their best pool. So now when they miss a ball, they just are really way too hard on themselves, or their opponent gets lucky and leaves a bad leave for them, and they get all upset over that. If you go into the match mentally prepared that I'm going to expect my opponent to get lucky, I'm going to expect to have some bad rolls. So when it happens, I can just get over it, move on, and think positively about what can I do with it now versus the other way around. So Beck missed a a bank shot. Bank shots are never a gimme. I mean, he did set himself up well for it. He should have held the ball a little bit. And I feel like he hit the cue ball a little bit higher than he wanted to. He wanted a nice stiff short hit with a little bit of inside English, and he missed it. But what I like about him, he stayed down. He's really good about staying down throughout his shots. So now he's just got to let that go, and I think he will. Just be prepared for your next opportunity.
Got the 8 on the break there.
And this is twice now in a row that Cody has broken and not had a shot on the 1.
So another final in the books. Wyatt Neely is your champion.
Woohoo!
Out of Dalton, Georgia.
Okay.
That was over in the white tier. Again, Wyatt Neely, Dalton, Georgia, defeats Jaden Bolliard, Decatur, Illinois. So good runner-up finish for Jaden, and congratulations to Wyatt Neely, your champion in the white tier of this year's APA Junior Championships. So we're down to just one final match here at the Renaissance. Cody Allen at the table here.
Mm.
Gives way to Beck Matthews.
Yes, left him a bank shot. I don't think that one ball goes, but it's hard for me to tell from this vantage point. I mean, if you went 2 rails and kicked at the one, then the 3 might throw on the side. But if not, you can just bank it in the corner pocket. Only thing is, he might want to draw his cue ball right into the 6 so it holds his cue ball for the position on the 2. Oh, it might be too much angle because he doesn't want his cue ball to scratch. Maybe he's playing safety? Uh-oh. I think he left it for him. He's just going to want to miss the traffic with the 4 and the 7, so he's going to cut the 1 ball in. If he could hit it nice and easy and let the cue ball go to the other side of the rail underneath the 4 and back out to about where the spot is. So it looks like he's perfect. A little bit harder than he wanted to. Okay. So again, he's going to go 2 rails to make the 3 in the side. High left, maybe? There it is. Whoa.
Watch out. So I imagine Cody, does he move on and play in the, does he play in the BEF Nationals?
Yes, yes, he'll be playing in the BF Nationals.
So I'd imagine several kids, particularly in the upper tiers here, move on to that event. And of course, we have had players in the past that have qualified for the Atlantic Cup, which is kind of the elite of the very best U.S. Versus the best of Europe in kind of a Mosconi style
for the
format.
Juniors. Yep. Yeah, and Cody was nominated for the Atlantic Challenge Cup by the APA, which was a huge honor for him.
And have they decided that, like the final group there? So he still doesn't know on that one yet.
No.
So bright future ahead for a lot of these young, aspiring pool players.
Oh, he just twisted his arm a little bit. The shot was easy enough to make. He was trying to spin it in with bottom left, thinking about position because he didn't want his cue ball to get anywhere near the 6.
Again, if you're just tuning in, this is the black tier of the APA Junior Championships, which has been going on since Thursday here at the Renaissance Hotel in St. Louis. Started with 505 kids, and we are down to the final 2 still playing.
Ooh, I love this shot. Okay. So he's cutting the 6 ball in, and normally they go 2 rails, end rail, side rail, and have a tough shot on the 6. But if you hit it hard with low right, he'd go end rail, side rail, end rail. Oh, yeah, that's what he's going to do. So now if he had drawn the ball with low right, he could have gone 4 rails. Bottom rail, and then this long rail, and then the other long rail to the right, to the opposite end rail, and then back up for the 7. It's hard to explain without a telestrator, but
well, you were doing your best with your finger back here and kind of pointing at the screen, but
yes,
got it.
Uh-oh. Ooh, if he had nicked it, he would have had a nice shot on that one. I like this guy's game. He shows heart. He stays down. He's very committed to what he does. He's disciplined. He's willing to come over and look at exactly what he wants to do. He's trying to see if it's frozen or not. Maybe that makes a difference to him on whether or not he wants to cut the ball or bank the ball. Kind of looks like he's wanting to cut that ball. He's cueing low. I would cue a little bit high if I'm going to cut this ball in because I don't want my cue ball to go backwards and scratch. Oh, he overcut the ball. All right. Fortunate for Cody Allen to get to shoot again on this after he missed that last ball.
2 points there for Cody.
Yeah, and you could see he jumped up a little bit even on that shot. He's got to settle down.
I think the last tally there showed Beck needing just 16 points. Our directors here having some fun with our graphics and toys here. But there's your score screen flying back on. Cody with 31 points needs to get to 75. So if he's going to make it happen, he needs to get there. And we need Beck to sit down so we can see.
All right, here we are. Breaks again, and still, and the thing is, this is actually unfortunate because he's hit that one ball solidly each time and not had a good shot on the one, which is unusual. Played a nice safety there. He won't have any problem hitting it, but I feel like he's got to make a decision on whether or not he tries to kick and make the one ball in the side pocket, in which case the cue ball can carry him off the side of the one and possibly even make the two. He has two ways of making this ball. Or whether or not he wants to kick at the one and send it down to the end rail and hide somewhere behind the 6 and 7, in which case he would need a medium speed. All right. He can see the ball, but he can't make the ball in that far corner pocket. He can possibly bank the one to the other corner pocket or play safety. Oh, no good. Yeah. He meant to stick the cue ball over and freeze behind the 7 ball, but he let his cue ball get away from him. He could probably see this ball. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe he needs to masse a little bit. Ooh, that's a good viewpoint. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. It looks like he can see it. But the thing is, it looks like he's cueing with bottom right, which would, the cue ball would deflect over and hit that 7. If he hits it with anything, it should be bottom left.
Hope you're enjoying the coverage of the APA Junior Championships. Again, we want to thank our sponsors at Nationwide Insurance, helping us bring you this coverage. And our other sponsors, Valley Dynamo, Aramith, Action Cues, and our friends at pooldog.com.
Ooh, that was good. Held that ball really well. So now he's shooting the 2 ball. I'm going to follow up, hopefully by the 5. Uh-oh. A little bit straight. If you can follow between the 8 and the 9. Nope. I'm always telling when you shoot these shots, you can't just make a decision. You have to picture the direction and the speed. You're shooting too quickly to do that. I think Beck can see this ball to make it. And this type of shot, everyone wants to jump up on this shot. It's not an easy shot. So if you get down on the ball, you have to be fully committed. Smooth stroke. I bet he makes it. Come on, Beck. Nice. Oh, no, not that. That is crazy. Wow.
So that'll go down as a dead ball there.
Yeah, that was actually shocking because he hit that ball so well. But It picked up a little bit of right spin off that end rail, and it was enough to fall on the side. And honestly, on 7-foots, the side pockets are smaller, so normally it would have hit that point and still bounced out. Another unforced error. He's just. This is where I would say Beck is showing a little bit more discipline than Cody right now, because Beck is walking around and picking an exact place for the cue ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
Versus Cody's just hitting it and dealing with wherever it lands. And
So Cody now leading, at least in terms of total points, by 3. But again, it's got to be noted that the points must win is
different
by 20. So Cody needs 75 points, so he still needs 33. Beck still needing 16. So
16, yeah. And right now, from what it looks like, they're playing pretty close to even, right? The score is 42-39. They're pretty close in points, and with Cody being a 9, he's got some catching up to do. Let's see if he gets a shot on the 1. Well, he can see the 1, but I'm pretty confident that if he was to cut that 1 ball back in that right corner pocket, the cue ball would feather off the 6 and scratch in that hole. So he might be looking at his safety. I wonder if he could just follow the 1 ball to the end rail and let the cue ball land on top of the 6. Ooh, he made it. Uh-oh. Really nice. I didn't think that he could do that without hitting the 6 from here, but obviously he must have thought different from his viewpoint. What's he going to do with this 3? 3-8 combination, maybe. Wow. That took some confidence. He played that. He was definitely thinking, all right, let me kick that ball out of there. That says a little bit about his confidence
yeah,
right
looks
now.
to be getting in rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Cue ball's closer to the rail than he wanted to, but he can hit this just with a little bit of draw. Nope.
Oh. So he fails to pocket the 6, but leaves himself, or leaves his opponent on the. You can tell if he's frozen that 8 ball there, but either way, not an ideal position to shoot from for Beck.
Sure.
See if he can pocket the 6 here. And he does. Nice position. Looks to be in pretty good shape here for the rest of this rack. Seven in the corner.
He's got some work to do there. I mean, that's just something now about Beck. I mean, Beck was playing a lot more offensively earlier in the match, and just now on that 7, he could have just punched it 2 rails out to the middle of the table, and he slow rolled it with high, which meant that he didn't feel confident that he could make the 7 and control his cue ball, leaving it much tougher. Oh my goodness gracious.
So now a couple of mistakes back to back by both these guys. Again, They're kids. They're playing at a big
Yes.
event in front of a lot of people.
A lot of
with,
pressure.
even more people online watching. So nothing is a given,
Right.
despite how highly skilled they are, right?
They are, but for
Could be a
Cody,
big.
I know him so well, so I know this is about him rushing and not coming over and being committed to the shot.
Mhm.
Beck just needs a few good opportunities. I think he's changing his game. Earlier in the match, he was shooting the balls like they needed to, whether or not he felt the nerves, whereas now he's allowing it to affect his decision.
There's a big 3 points out there here,
He's got a little bit.
particularly for him. But
Yeah, he does have an angle, a little bit of it, but he's got to really punch it to the end rail and back over for the 9. He doesn't have as much angle as he wants. All right. Well, he really must have had a lot less angle. You could see it had angle, otherwise it wouldn't have floated the opposite direction, but he had the choice of following it around 3 rails, and he just didn't like it. So this isn't a bad decision right here because it's easy to pocket these balls. Bar table, there you go.
puts the 9 in the corner for 2 more big
Yeah.
points. Beck with 44 needs just 11 now against Cody Allen.
Yep, less than 2 racks away.
You know what I find interesting about the juniors event is there's no coaching for these
Right.
kids, right? I mean,
Yes.
you know, for all of us that play in APA leagues back home, we have the benefit of like
Having a
timeout,
coach, yeah.
right? Coach, what do I do? These kids are on their own,
Yeah.
right? They've got to make those decisions, and I can't even imagine, you know, in a match like this, just having to kind of know what to do. But both these young guys are doing great, you know. Obviously, at the end of the day, there's only going to be one winner, but
Right.
you know, I mean, come on, these guys are both excellent players with very bright futures on the pool table, no doubt.
I think it's actually a good thing that they don't get coached because this forces us as his parents, mentors, coaches, sponsors. It makes us have to prepare them. Hey,
Yeah.
when you get there, you're not going to get a timeout. And so their training is a little bit of different. And it's more similar to real life. Hey, we could prepare you, we could teach you, but at some point, you need to get out and do
Right.
your thing.
Right. That's what I love about the juniors program overall. I mean, there's so many great lessons for kids to be learned,
Right.
whether it's, you know, the geometry and physics of the game, whether it's good sportsmanship, whether it's
Yeah.
learning how to, you know, again, not everyone wins all the time.
That's right.
And
How to
sometimes you
handle
have to deal with those
defeat.
realities
Yep.
that sometimes the other player was just better. And obviously the relationships, which we already touched on. I mean, I've
Right.
seen lots of kids here that have made friends that they will no doubt stay in touch with through email and, you know, social media and all the different ways that kids can connect now with the rest of the world. So very cool. Very, very cool. Again, you can go to poolplayers.com/playjuniors. Just fill out a little form there, and we'll try to get you hooked up with the right people to get your son or daughter playing in an APA league. You can enjoy something you love with your kids.
Okay, you made a good hit. Left Cody a fairly simple combination shot, but I think if he could stop his cue ball there and hit the 3 hard enough to get to the opposite corner pocket, that would be nice. Oh, but he missed it. Well, Cody got a little lucky not to leave him a shot after that.
Again, this is Beck at the table currently. Some folks asking who's Cody and who's Beck. This is Beck doing his best yoga.
Oh, I didn't
Pocket
think
that
he
ball.
could see this, but did it look like he could see that
I don't know.
ball?
I was watching him stand on one leg, Jeanette. I don't,
Okay.
42 years old. I can't do that kind of stuff
Right.
anymore.
All
Not without
right.
serious repercussions the next day.
You know, he could go for this combination with the opposite. The other choice is to cut the 4-ball to the end rail and let the cue ball hit the side rail and come back over behind the 9. Nope. He's playing a different kind of safety. Maybe bank it to the end rail and let the cue ball float behind the 9. Ooh. Well, I think he could actually make this ball. Just got to watch the scratch in that far corner pocket. So I think he could put a little bit of spin in.
Bank it back in that corner.
No, cut the ball in.
Cutting it, okay.
Yeah, just a little bit of spin. He's
Just
jumping
not
up.
enough.
Yeah, he's jumping up. He's not quite confident with it.
Again, worth mentioning here, Beck just 10 points away from taking home the title in the black tier. Start right here with the 4 ball.
Let's see how he gets on the 6 ball. You better get over. Well, he's almost straight, but I actually think that he might be able to follow it, hit the end rail, and back out. He's just got to avoid the 9 ball. But I think he could do it. His cue ball's going to follow and hit that rail. And then if he gives it some left-hand English, it could come down table for the 7. He just doesn't want to hit it hard enough to scratch in that far corner pocket. Looks like he's cueing low, though. Oh, he was trying to bank it and makes it anyway.
Nope.
Oh.
Close, though. Very, very close.
Yes, very close. And I think he can see it. There you go. He can definitely see it.
All right, Cody is on borrowed time here. He needs to really make something happen, string together some runs.
He's got to hit this low. Nope. He had a little bit of high ball. You could see it kind of go off the rail and then hook forward because he had topspin on the ball and he needed to hit it with low. Playing a safety. A nice safety. That was actually nice getting that close to the 9 ball because that took out that rail that's in front of him. So now he's actually going to be shooting away from his 7. Maybe a 2-rail kick. So now he's got to decide whether or not there has to be some kind of decision here. You can't just go 2 rails and hit it. And you could see the time he's taking. He's confident that he can hit this ball. But do you want to hit it medium speed? Are you playing for a safety or a bank shot? I think he could hit this at a middle speed. Well, that was a little bit too softly. I think if he hit it a little bit firmer, then he has the chance to hit that and actually separate 7, maybe go down to the end rail and the cue ball back up table. All right. It's just a simple drawback. Cody needs to turn it on at some point.
2 more points for Cody as he pockets the 9 in the corner. He's up to 55. He needs 20 points to Beck's 9. So again, I think this one's far from over, right? But I think this next rack may tell us ultimately who the winner is. We'll see.
Yes, I mean Cody's at the table. He's very capable of. Running out the set if he wanted to, but we also know that Beck did the same thing earlier this set. Cody's getting frustrated because, again, after the break, he pockets the ball and doesn't have a shot on the 1. So it's tough to put racks together, and you're capable of doing it, but if you can't get a good shot after after the break, it's frustrating because you could tell that he's anxious. He wants to get it done. He wants to run the whole table, and he needs to have just a little bit more patience here. Earlier in the set, Beck's put a couple racks together, and he's only 9 points away from winning this match. So, one good opportunity for Beck, and he could run the rest of the set
there's 9 points right there.
Exactly.
Another safe by Cody there. We'll see if that works out.
Does not. Yeah, he let him see a whole ball, and he could do a couple of things. He can hit the one ball thin and bring the cue ball 2 rails out on the other side of the 2-7, or he could bank the 1. It looks like if he banks the 1, he might actually hit the 7 ball. Well, I think he's just cutting it in now. Right now, what he's thinking about is, well, if I cut it in, what happens to my shape on the 2?
One point closer for Mr. Matthews. Needs just 8.
He wanted that cue ball to freeze on that 4-6. Just so that you know, that ball to the right is the 3 ball. I know it can kind of look like a 5 ball, but that is a 3 ball. So he's playing the 2. Okay. And he got over that hurdle because that's exactly the kind of shot that he'd been missing, right? Now he's got to slow down. Been nice if he was straighter. I think he's just going to go across the table, back and forth.
This could be a huge rack for Cody here. Pockets the 8.
Stayed down on that
follow
one.
That in with the 9. Yeah, big rack there for Cody. Splits that rack 9-1. Not only does he build on his lead, but he keeps Beck pretty much where he was at. Beck gets 1 point there. So again, needs 8. Cody now needing just 11.
Yes.
This is quite a finale we're seeing here in the black tier.
Yes. And what this is proving to us, actually, is that the APA scoring system works, because throughout this whole thing, I mean, Cody being a 9, Beck being a 7, you can see that it's been going right to the end.
Right. Yeah, you know, and of course, every time we do stream any of our events that are that use the equalizer handicap system, I see comments from people saying he's a this or she's a that or you know, come on, folks. Just like we do at all of our championships, the scores of these players, just like the adults, are reviewed after every round. You know, to ensure that they are playing at the level they should be, and you know, if they're not, then we deal with that accordingly. So.
Things are changing. This is the first time since the match has started that Cody has had a reasonable shot on the 1 after. And so if he can shoot the 1 ball in, he's trying to decide whether or not he should be able to draw past the side pocket, maybe hit the 3rd diamond and go 1, 2, and up for the... He's just got to watch the 9 ball. Oh, my gosh.
He block himself there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's blocked. He might be able to see it. No, he's got to kick at this ball. The problem is it's not really good. He's going to go 2 rails. Oh, no. He's asking for a scratch right here. I think he should be kicking this ball.
Looks indecisive.
Well, it really depends on how much of the 2 he can see.
Right,
But
kind of hard from this angle
yeah,
to tell.
he's going to have some kind
Feels
of a double
confident about
kiss.
something
Or,
there. All right.
so he could see a lot more of the 2 than I thought. I thought all he could see was, feathering it really thin.
All right, so that brings back to the table with some room to work.
One good shot and he wins this match. He's just got to hold it bottom right, back out to the middle of the table or somewhere between the 5 and 7. If he hits it too hard, he's just going to roll it and hit it soft.
Yeah, he's got to get to that 3, though. Gets the 2.
He's got it. He's got it. And I would just roll this in with some topspin, let the cue ball bump right into the 7. No reason to draw the ball.
Rolls the 3 in. Ever closer here, 6 points. And if you're counting, there are 6 points on the table, folks. Make that 5.
He almost missed that ball.
Opportunity in hand here for Mr. Matthews. And the pressure mounts with each
He's making it tougher
point.
and tougher on himself.
Pressure mounts and mounts. Each ball gets bigger and bigger.
Each one, he's hit them a little bit softer each time.
And he
Wow.
fails to pocket the 7 in the corner.
Tell you what.
New life for Cody Allen here.
And I am very confident that this is Cody's last opportunity. If Beck gets back to that table.
Eight in the corner for Cody. Nice position on that 9 ball.
Yes.
Be 2 more points for him. All right, buckle up, folks.
Woo!
Got ourselves a match. Beck 4 points away. Cody now 5 points away. Cody will have the break. And if you're just tuning in, you couldn't have picked a better time. Black tier coverage of this year's APA Juniors Championship. We can just call this maybe a hill match if you want in 9 ball, right?
Absolutely. They're both
we're down to the last
5
rack
points.
here, and one of these 2 is going to walk out of here with a championship after this rack. So, barring some crazy dead ball situation, I guess, right?
Let's see what happens on the break.
There's the break, and it's dry, right?
It is dry. Those balls did not spread the way that you would think.
So back at the table here.
Okay.
All right, so he was intending to bank it into the side, came off that corner, that side pocket.
Came a little bit wide.
Went down towards the corner, but
he
has
went
left
for
it. Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Cody's going to have excellent opportunity, at least on the 1 ball here. Again, Cody needs just 5 points. Oof. A little bit of a misstroke there, but
yeah,
still can play the 2, but
yep, he clenched his hand. That's what that comes from, is when, as you're releasing your shot, you tighten your, you clench your hand, you clench your grip on it. So now, nice and easy, he's got to stay down, drop the 2 in the side.
That's a big shot there by
But
Cody.
Hit it too soft.
2 in the side. Now
Not only
3.
did he hit it too soft, but he didn't leave himself an easy safety.
Yeah.
He's got to get his cue ball on the other side of that 3. Nope.
All right. Each time I think that it's probably their last turn at the table, they prove me wrong. So back at the table. Needs 4 points here, 4 big points, 4 big shots.
This is a nice, safe shot. That 3-ball goes right in the pocket. And I've seen him cut the paint off the balls earlier, so I don't think this is going to be any problem for him. Although it looks like he's cueing low. And I think that he could cue high. Oh, wow.
So he can't cut the 3 and watch out.
Well, that's what I was going to say about cueing low. When you cue low like that, you have a good chance to scratch.
Yeah,
if
he
you
nearly
hit high.
avoided disaster there.
Yes.
In turn, though, leaves Cody with a, much more difficult shot buried in that, deep in that corner.
An insanely tough shot. It actually goes, but he's also got a good chance to scratch here if he catches it too full. Gosh, what do you do there? Look at that.
Again, Cody needs just 3 balls here.
What is he doing? I'm on the edge of my seat right now.
Oh.
Wow.
All right.
Gets a little bit lucky by tying up the 3.
That he did.
Yeah. And it's so close to the rail that it's really tough. I mean, if you had to give him ball in hand, it's good that it was this one. Even though you have ball in hand
so
on the 3,
nerve-wracking for
you
these
still gotta
kids.
get shape on the 4.
For their parents.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
cow.
I couldn't stand
I'm like
it.
thinking of my kids doing something like this, and I'm just like getting so nervous for these guys. So. All right.
See, he'd like to be able to shoot the 3 and get on the other side of the 4, but now he's just going to hold the cue ball. Shoot the 4 up in the corner.
Got the 3. Three points away for Beck.
Yep. He got a little bit of an angle. Oh, no, it's more angle than I thought. Because he's got to decide how he gets around that 8-ball. See if he can follow it a little bit.
4 in the corner, needs just 2.
Yeah, and ended up, I think, almost straight in. I think he's okay. Maybe he's thinking he might scratch in the side, but I think the cue ball will follow to that 3rd diamond right there. Just tap it in.
1 point away for Beck Matthews.
He played great this whole tournament, so.
And he finishes it off,
there
folks.
There it is. Congratulations to Beck Matthews. And still a fine finish for Cody Allen.
Absolutely. An outstanding finale to this year's APA Junior Championships. Beck Matthews, Louisville, Kentucky. He is your champion in the black tier of this year's Junior Championships. Congratulations to him. And as you mentioned, congratulations to Cody. Really an outstanding match. And I don't think there could have been a better match to finish off our several few days here in St. Louis at the Renaissance. You can see everybody kind of celebrating and enjoying. And momentarily here, Jeff Hayes, our tournament director, will be awarding the trophies as well as the prizes for all these young kids. You can see the excitement and kind of the sigh of relief, I would think, for some of them. So, of course, they all want to go home champions. But we had 4 that went home as champions today, so congratulations to all 4 of them. And, folks, we appreciate you joining us. Like we said, it's time to hand out some trophies, some prizes, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone next month or in early August at the APA World Championships in Las Vegas.
See you in Vegas, baby.
Until then, we'll say goodbye for just a little while.